Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Amen. Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Amen. Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Amen. Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
In Srobiara.
Yeah.
Ubien who are Bemas and Ubia or Ghana Mema.
Yeah.
As I says a bassy, but we're two back open a voyage in army war.
Yeah.
That means Rotio, Mabim Roman. In Srobiara.
Yeah.
Ubien who are Bemas and Ubia or Ghana Mema.
Yeah.
As I says a bassy, but we're two back open a voyage in army war.
Yeah.
That means Rotio, Mabim Roman. In Srobiara.
Yeah.
Ubien who are Bemas and Ubia or Ghana Mema.
Yeah.
As I says a bassy, but we're two back open a voyage in army war.
Yeah.
That means Rotio, Mabim Roman. In Srobiara.
Yeah.
Ubien who are Bemas and Ubia or Ghana Mema.
Yeah.
You better stay in, you better not fly, you better wear masks, I'm telling you why. Boris Johnson's locking you down. He's making a list, he's checking it twice, he's moved on a lot from promoing bikes. Boris Johnson's locking you down. He hears you and you're coughing while on that shopping spree. So stay indoors, click and collect, or he'll put you in tier 3. So you better not sneer, you better not jest, you better not have that 7th house guest. Boris Johnson's locking you down. Pubs in London are back to serving booze, which Boris said can go ahead if they serve it up with food. So sing happy birthday and sing it twice while washing your hands upon his advice. Boris Johnson's locking you down. And don't be a putz, don't be a fool, COVID spreads more in pubs than at school. Boris Johnson's locking. Boris Johnson's locking. Boris Johnson's locking you down.
It's almost a year now. Let's do it with you. Well, it's only 2 of us here now. Let's do it.
This one you are rushing me. Do you have cap?
Every time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, close your eyes.
It's because of you. Let's do it sharp, sharp.
Okay. Okay, yes. Okay, open your eyes. Yeah. I wish you you a Merry Christmas.
I wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Body girl.
Assim, onde não é? Onde não? Ei, bima wo. Que bima wo, bima wo.
Moamonim nyamenim maye ama mo hu se me otro me Moamonim nyamenim maye ama mo hu se me otro me Moamonim nyamenim maye ama mo hu se me otro me Moamonim nyamenim maye ama mo hu se me otro me Moam
Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas. Issue a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
In Srobiara. Obien who ye be masini obia wo Ghana mema. Ezan says a basi be wo tuo ba ko pe ne boye gina am yewu. That means rotio ma wo bi me hunu hunu. In Srobiara. Obien who ye be masini obia wo Ghana mema.
Hello, my beautiful people. Sly Dumba, I see you. I hope you're doing very well. And I'm extending a much more thank you to you for yesterday, the wonderful program and your availability. God bless you, Mr. Sly. I see a bunch of people here too. I got to say hi to Ya Grace Tampuri. Ya Grace Tampuri, I haven't seen you in a while. Ama Augustine Isa. Haha, Amagana. Musa Ibrahim, I see you. Desmond Tete, the class prefect, I see you. If such a person insults you, Musa Ibrahim, I see you. Yeah, and Mr. Sly, I see you. Na Adole, hello. When I see or pronounce a cultural name like this, it turns my head off. It gets me happy when I see, a very how do you call it, name, cultural name. Ya na Dole, Kwame Den, AC, Abronoma, and all those things. When I hear those names, it brings me to a place. And mommy, I am say, so your bar, papa. That is my judgment, because I say abrofudino doso, okay, abrofudino doso, but me who natural name is Ghana Dean is ana amameniaje, na meniaje. Guys, put your real name on there. The nanny, how are you doing? My top fan. Guys, please share. Yes, Nadole Mole, this is my first time here. Na Adole, you are very welcome. And here we respect each other and we love each other. It's a platform for supporting the truth and the good. We talk truth to power. We speak truth to power. We don't fear the left, neither do we fear the right. And so you are very welcome. And make sure you subscribe so you can get most of the videos that we share and we do here. If you want to know who the class prefect is, right now I took it from the nanny. because the nanny don't come. So I took it from the nanny, and I gave it to how do you call it? Despotete. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Muhib Kotokoli Murama. Nice. I like that. Good evening here. Good evening, boss. I was watching is watching you SK Fosu is watching you from Amsterdam. Amsterdam. Good job. Keep it up. More vim. Good luck, bro. Thank you, SK Fosu. Gonja Barracks. Gonja Barracks. Hey, those days when they say Gonja Barracks, you go run. Good evening, bro. Good evening to my brother. Peter Kujo. Lavengro. Lavengro. Amenowode. Hey, Dean with the Aibepa. Okay, anyway, I love that. Peter Lavengo is watching and listening from New Jersey. New Jersey, the business state. I am watching you guy live from Germany. Gonja Barracks, nice. Mohib Kotokoli Murama. We are here to listen wisdom. Thank you, and you will get wisdom. Al Hassan Jr. Koita. God bless you. God bless you. Ernest Peter. Good evening, bro. I'm watching you live from Italy. Modena. Good job. Ernest, dear, we are number one. Abdul Basit Abdullah. Are you this name when I hear then I make happy? Abdul Basit Abdullah. Tell you the name they rhyme rough. Your name they rhyme rough. I dey love your name, Keke. It say Ghana has no future under Akufo-Addo regime. Hypocrisy will sink Ghana. Al Hassan Jr. Quetta, Ghana first. Ibrahim Tanko, good morning, bro. Watching you live from Germany. Thank you. Nadole, watching you from Washington State. Oh, Evergreen State. Washington State, the faraway state. I like that. God bless Nadole. Nadole, I hope you are doing good. Kefia, how are we ga onu? Kefia, how are we ga few? Ko ga koto ogbe poden chetra ke ganyobi po jibu. Ganyobi po jibu. Me inse ekoje brekusu ni wo se ko lawunje labadi. She mi pa few ekoje labadi ko kadibi kome. No, anyami se no we ga ken bia no na mo ne ko ba we ga po. Ona mo ko ne ko ba we ga. Ga is sweet. Ga is sweet. It's cultural. It's natural. Kwame Na Anderson, this man fool too much as if he is not burger. Oh. Who fool too much as if he's not a burger? Me? That name stuff I don't like, oh. But I not go mind you. If me they talk say I fool, I fine. I dey thank you. I thank you. If I fool, you dey here. What you do for here? I not go mind you. Today be my good day. Anyway, so keep it up. If me I fool way the talker, fine. I don't get it. I go tell you. Anyway, Azakito Razak, watching you from Australia. God bless you. God bless Ghana. Thank you. Chome Kwame Adezi, Ana Chome Kwame Ajesi. My love for the program is deep. Oh, I thank you, boss. My love for you too deep. The Nani Tanko, Sobi mi believe. Hey, Erade Sobi mi biani. Hey, we really, wow, really challenges, not accept. All right, I understand you. Right. You be tough fan, you be my tough fan where they come. So I think a class prefer give somebody. So if you want them back, do your work. Ibrahim Tanko, please block him. I have no time for non-entities. Ibrahim, let's mind our business. We are going to talk wisdom here. They need to hear some wisdom. So let them hear some wisdom. I've been advised not to pay attention to non-entities like that. Atwell, I dey feel your name rough. Atwell, I dey feel your name. Kanzo, I don't feel your name too much. Merry Christmas, Massa. Mohib Kotokoli, keep doing good job for Ghana. Ridwan Sako, keep the good job from New York City. Muna monye bienu. Sako, muna monye bienu. Ale, New York job wow. Good job for the motherland. Ghana, God bless you. My bro, Al Hassan Jr. Kweta. Nah, Dole, thanks for the good you are doing for Ghana. God bless you. Nah, Dole, nkekpa blofu ewie mo. Ni wo wie ga denche. In le noncha. In le noncha. Han wo wie ga. Onu. Idris Jafar. Having gates, no bridge for MPP party. I hear you. All right, so guys, a very good evening to you again. And before I start or do anything, honestly speaking, I just want to rock you some welcome music before everything else starts, okay? I just don't want to let you, just, come here and just go just like that. Make I rob you some good music, make you feel the good music, okay? I love you guys too much. I love you guys, I feel you guys too much. So I beg you, make you guys come hear your songs, okay? And this is for the ladies of the platform. Every lady on this platform, I beg you, this be your song. This be your song.
Oh yeah. Allow me settle your bills. I don't mind.
I can one B. Billion. How I say? Nsutong porum. Adefi yo. Hey. Allow me settle all your bills. I go ifang. I don't mind, oh baby. I go ifang. Allow me settle all your bills. I go ifang. I don't mind, oh baby. I don't mind, oh baby. I'm only gonna finish for your case. I don't care, I don't mind, oh. I want to look at your face. You know, say you too fine, oh. I'm only gonna finish for your case. I don't care, I don't mind, oh. I want to look at your face. You know, say you too fine, oh. I like the way they do, the way they do, even the way you demonstrate. I don't fall in love, sote, I don't concentrate. I like the way they do, even the way you demonstrate. I don't fall in love, sote, I don't concentrate. It's so full, I ain't full again, yeah. It's so full, I ain't full again, yeah. I don't sing another bit, I don't sing, oh. I don't sing another bit, oh. I don't sing, oh. Even if you go far away, I go follow you, go far away. Baby, you don't take me far away. My money go take you far away. Allow me settle all your bills. I go ifang. I don't mind, no baby. I don't mind, no baby.
Guys, this is the way it is. This is the way it is. And for the men in here, let me play you the very usual I used to play for the guys over here. Okay, I'm going to play you the usual that the guys usually love over here. All right, so this is it. Guys, this song is for the guys over here. Before we start the program, chill your hearts, guys.
Bring me
ne uni amayo. Biri mi hukumi umoni ba, ikumi umoni ba, yasi ni ba ne uni amayentia. Abadi buwa umida, mini ni panu wa chingu miwa. Iba beria si ba kubyo, iba mredio chasi. Minti yo biasa, yenti yo biasa. Iba beria si ba kubyo, iba mredio chasi. Yavi fosue, yenti yo biasa, yenti yo biasa, yenti yo biasa. Yansi ni bane uri amayo. Bilimu kumi umoni ba, likumi umoni ba. Yansi ni bane uri amayo njia. Shanda shanda mbonyo, sidi manafu pesa ngumu. Pati pope yankani awayo. Onyani gani ya wankani awayo. Upulumwa wankani awayo. Minti yo biasa, yenti yo biasa. Iba biasa bakugo, iba yo jasi. Gabi fosue, yenti yo biasa, yenti yo biasa, yenti yo biasa. Minti ne maho, minti yo ne mati. Iba biasa bakugo, iba yo jasi. Minti ne maho, minti yo ne mati. Iba biasa bakugo, iba yo minia.
Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence. Islam Islamic leaders, silence. Kings and queens, silence. Traditional leaders, silence. Oh, who go say the truth?
True, for justice.
We are them go so confused the call. No buy area why no baby. We are them go so confused the call. One guy so yeah why no baby. Who go say the truth?
True, for justice.
Who go say the truth?
True, for justice.
Oh, he be tenacity was a so. Now your friend on a nine come as him. Only baby obeka na sembia. So I one kwa obet you two. Everybody was afraid. And until I learned to my cottage, I once my boy don't be one and but who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien peso beka wasam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini. Akuku trufo nina dalima. Eti who go say the truth?
True, for justice.
Obiaja konson so to grow your man set to me be a cacobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo when you ye. Na so ko trata down na so be dia back or why no keke. I feel it for be man mo pia for efo ne cross on my mo. Anya safwe mo ayini. Akuko trofo nyina dalima. Enti who go say the truth?
True, for justice.
Abaya de bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi. Tachi se udi oma upipi numa. Udi oma never shine and fry for sa. But who go tell the truth?
True, for justice.
Do you see? Silence, even journalists. Silence, oh, then who go say the truth?
True, for justice.
Right is right, wrong is wrong. No matter how you justify.
True, for justice.
You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you. Now the person become your target.
True, for justice.
Jobless, no, they mean senseless. Poverty, no, they mean useless. One day, they go resist.
True, for justice.
Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing very good. I want to be able to give you the very reasons why I came over here today to just take a little bit of your time. It's very important to me that I let you hear this. Guys, the very truth about the whole situation and the things that are going on in Ghana is not just a mere issue going on. This is not just a mere Akufo-Addo being selfish. Thank you, Denani. Thank you, Denani. I try my very possible best, and I want to give the best. And I'm upgrading my PC. I want to upgrade my PC to the highest, whatever it is, so that I can be able to, give you good stuff. Okay? Because of you, I'm here, and I'll always be here for you guys. All right. So, the air coastal Ghana see I don't yet a coup for na the man is self so second term no jail. I'm just letting you know. Akufo-Addo is not just doing second term or say second term jamu. No. Akufo-Addo is trying to capture. I'm telling you, Baumia is not going 20 whatever. They're going to groom somebody else. And they're going to rob the election again once this is not done right. They're going to rob the election again. And when they rob the election again, what is going to happen is that it's going to keep on. And what they want to do is they want to put Ghana as a one-state party. Do you remember 208? Is it? Yeah, 208 when Atamils won. Do you remember that Akufo-Addo was talking about power sharing? Do you remember? He started talking about power sharing. He wanted Atamils to be the president, and then he would be the prime minister. You see, Papa Nadwino Kurano or Pese or capture the state resources, not only the power to choose who will be the president and what the president should do. And that's what they're trying to do. Now, we are heading towards dictatorship. If we're not careful, we are heading towards dictatorship. Okay? We are heading towards dictatorship. And so what we need to do is that we need to fight against this nonsense. Yes, we need to fight against this nonsense. If we don't fight against this nonsense, I'm telling you, next election, they will rob it again. Because he is testing the waters. He is testing the waters. And you see, the problem is that the media is playing on their part. The media is just being bought. What top media no? Akufo-Addo at top media no. And the media will always be behind Akufo-Addo. The only thing Akufo-Addo is afraid of now is the military. The only thing Akufo-Addo is afraid now is the military. And he's afraid of the military because he knows that the military, most of the military people that are there are not for him. And so he went to make, arrangement in Cote d'Ivoire, Ouattara. In case the soldiers of Ghana attack him, then Ouattara will bring his soldiers to come to Ghana. Nufi, sa Ouattara no, nufi. Wow, debi ameka se bi se, me wo. Onipa de se ni Abra Atamils teso, may his soul rest in peace. Abra Atamils teso. Ouattara winning elections ya fa mano. Akufo-Addo to asebe Akufo-Addo can say, let's go and fight. That's what Akufo-Addo said. And Atamils said, there was enough problem. And so let's end the fearsome. Some back side issue now. Or say, do fearsome. Obeying a problem when you crow more. And ye never fast on your saboka, Eddie or Marco Cotton, baby, some Kokuntoka. Ye dear, it's the end of fearsome. And if Akufo-Addo would have won that election around that time, his impulsive, dirty pulse, the dirty pulse, na do fee any the pressure for power and to show himself, short man trying to, or per se, or ye BB to compensate his shortness. Excuse my language. Medicasem. Uja say, aha, or beso ye BB. Now all the compensating around that time, Ouattara, Abra na ye oni eyiekuntokwa eye Akufo-Addo kasa monkona episha fon konkokotokwa no. Atamils ampene a omo anko no. Ene Ouattara kro ya akoye bosom e de si Cote d'Ivoire for so Ouattara na all pray for power the nya bria amanfo wuwu ya wo botutututu ne ade na ene onu susu no the same thing na president not so no ye no the same thing Ouattara so person ye Ouattara also wants to stay in power for life. So this tells you sheme wonyanko na me che woni suban. What I say, and the Akufo-Addo he is testing the pulse. He has used money to bribe people who are going to speak out. It is to say, one more Kasama Ghana for true patriots, who are, how do you call it, saying, Omakuma Eyeno, how can Kevin Taylor, who is not living in Ghana, how can Kevin Taylor, who is not living in Ghana, be the one to expose a criminality in the Akufo-Addo's government? Everything on point. And when Kevin Taylor brings paper out with evidence showing that Ampa Adewe Enokure Adewe si, and I'm still telling you, sir, no media man in Ghana will pick it up and investigate it or ask questions. You understand? So my problem here is that thank you for your quality video and sound. Thank you very much. Seidu Sule, I like you too much, bro. Seidu Sule, I love you too. Denani Tanko say too honest. I just love watching your show. Denani, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I also love having you here. If you behave well, I'll give the class prefect back to you. If you don't, the class prefect is gone. So you better, like me. If you don't like me, you don't get a class prefect. All right, that's just a joke, by the way. Abdul Awal, bro, you are doing great job. Keep on speaking the truth to justice. God bless you. Yes, I will. That nobody can change that from me. Nobody can take that from me. I can tell you that fact. And my mind is not changing today. Neither would it change for anything. I don't care how much money is brought to me. I still believe in honesty. And I can't sell my integrity for shit. Excuse my language. Nana Ekufado is an antichrist. Unia, he's not even close to the antichrist. Or inferior. He's not close to the antichrist. Dorothy Sampson, Jimmy. All right. Kofi Awoche. Oh, I like your name. Kofi Awoche. Credibility is your hallmark. Thank you, Kofi Awoche. Kofi, I thank you. You look familiar though. All right, so let's read this. Ajay Mensah Douglas. God bless you, senior, for saying the truth. Thank you too. I see you with a microphone over there. Are you also a DJ or are you a blogger or what are you? You can tell me. All right, if I have to throw you on my program one day, I'll throw you on my program one day so that you can also pick up. I went through a lot. Nobody wanted to help me get where I am. I've not arrived yet, but gradually by process, God started blessing me because he knows my heart. So I used to have friends. That used to come. Oh, me a programmer. Say me from. Oh, me be a programmer bra. Me be a programmer bra. Me be a programmer bra. Oh, masa. Oba be fafa ni mo ano oja okona kame kona e zero na misi ho. Ene nyanku panda Roma. Me nyankrofo wo mo timase. Enipa bi kura no omoye me nafofo a very tight friends. Nkofo na omoye me tight friends pa me say we dey me ne bonko sata frɛ e man ne mema nyina na omoye be sweethearts. Eto brebi no. Because of the Ebinuye MPP Ntino, they despise my program. Ebi wa nipa 4 5. Ebi wa na 0. No wa snobble me. Eh na wa sema okay me dem no nkasa na entokwankwa. Enso Nyankopon ma mka se me cho wo ya ade na ifiri akoma mu a. Sa wo ya ade na ifiri akoma mu na ade na wo ye no, wo akoma papa. Nyankopon so wo akoma papa. Odi nipa wo mbepe waso nipa wo mbedi wachi. Odi mbebrew. No ma be boa no ma be supporto ene Nyankopon de wo ebre me a enne me no mienu yetumi kasa enne me logi ona ni papa ene monyamfo esikafo ene ni papa wo ti asema so mo adwuma bie ebetie me kasa agi me tum wacha se enti be damase se mutumi nya me homre because me nyobia because my friends I made almost started there with they deserted me. No blogger wanted to push me. I didn't have anybody. I got to start on my own gradually. And I'm telling you, it's not coming down. It's going to be going up. This program, this TV, Safari Media, you are saying, it's going to be going up. It's going to be climbing. I'm always going to make sure that I'm upgrading myself and going far and better. I'm promising you guys. I started this way, okay? I started this way with a style. Many so abua and we into behemia umboka. Ate. I'll always go up and I always make sure I respect you, I entertain you, and I make you happy. Trust me, that's a promise of my heart. Because even getting one person to listen to you is not easy. One person to just listen to you, or best send the data, then the time. No abet see on kwasa sem wabekano. No ape wasem keke just because o kasa o tie no. Masa, it's not easy. People to love you is not easy. That's why my heart is over you guys. All right. So I'm throwing a shout out to you, all of you guys over there who supports me and who's over here. I will always respect you. And my point of life is making more friends and keeping the old. Making new friends and keeping the old ones. And I know you're going to be my old friend for a very long time while the new ones come. And I will never forget you. Peter Dekbeto. Where have you been? Peter, where have you been? Peter, don't do that, oh. All right, guys. So let me go back to my point and let me tell you exactly what the Akufo-Addo is doing. I'm going to come and educate you on the way this dictatorship starts. Okay, this dictatorship. I'm going to show you how it starts. Remember when Nigerian president came to Ghana and he was talking about, oh, I'm going to teach you how to, destroy corruption in Ghana, and the Akufo-Addo laughed at him. You remember that day? The Nigerian president, what is his name? The president that doesn't understand English. So the point here is that the affiliations that this president put himself through is why we are facing this. Akufo-Addo is careless and does not care about anybody. He is just power. And I'm telling you, we will fight with our last blood. I'm telling you. If this is the way he wants to put Ghana, so that one person, one people will come and sit upon Ghana and steal money from Ghana. You see, they do these things to test the reactions of the people and the media. The 52 billion Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to $10 billion that was missing. We have not heard of anything again. Mibisawo, anybody in Ghana that will rise up against Akufo-Addo will remove him. That is a trick to dictatorship. Anybody that will be a problem. I tell you this, when Domlovo came out and said, Ostafo Mafu has spent $1 million and something and given to somebody. Right away, he asked Domlovo to go on leave. That is one of the key tricks of a dictator. So Akufo-Addo is not really a very honest president. He is a dictator. He is power drunk. Go to his father's record. I'm asking you, show me few things that his father even did. His father was a ceremonial president for almost 60 months. Ceremonial president. The same behavior his son is putting up. He wants to be a ceremonial president. I'm asking you, why would he want to be a ceremonial president? I'm asking you. And Nuna Nebanaso Pesoye is a trait of which his son also want to domesticate upon us. Or person or they share your con. Na or yet, Nipebia Osiho no I say a friend say Bogabi no Osiho. Na that is what he wants to do. But we will not accept, neither will we allow. And this is a style of doing it. He's very manipulative. And that's why anybody, remember the National House of Chiefs, the president for the National House of Chiefs, when the man came out to speak the truth about the Japan deal, what happened to him? He paid money for him to be removed so that they can bring another president in who will be in his favor. So this is how dictators and people who are trying to control the country and stay on as much as they want, even if for life, they will do it for life. This is how they do it. They remove people who are a problem and they place people of their kind over there. And to be animal, Mamun Transi, there should be another Rollins, because if the judiciary, if the judiciary, Akufo-Addo has put in more judges in the Supreme Court than any other president put together. Atamis put 2. Atamis put 3. Mahama put 2. Akufo-Addo, Kufuor put 4. Rawlings put a couple. Akufo-Addo has put more than 7 Supreme Court judges. Just like the style of Trump. Trump thought he was putting a lot of people in the Supreme Court so that he can be able to fall on them when he loses the election or if anything happens. Trump is also a dictator, but the only thing that stopped him is because of the checks and balances. The Supreme Court will not allow, because that's a power. The judicial services will not allow. The House, the Senate will not allow. Okay? So, and the people as called the republic also will not allow. So there are checks and balances. That is the reason why no president will come in and come in full. No president will come in and come in full. No president. Because the system is put right in a way that is helpful to the state and not to a one person. And power has not been displayed to one person to misbehave and do whatsoever they want. You see, we all know that Trump lost miserably. But he was trying his very possible best to bounce back, to control the system, to go to Supreme Court so that he will get a chance. And this is what Trump is doing. The trait of Trump, his dictatorship. Look, let me tell you, if Trump got a chance, I'm telling you, Trump will be like, Kim Jong-un. If Trump had a chance and America was weak, Trump would love to be like Kim Jong-un. Because I quite remember, he just loved the parade. He loved the parade with plenty soldiers. When they are praising you, clapping their hands and praising him, Kim Jong-un. He made a comment one time that this is beautiful. This is beautiful. He loves it. He loves the power display. But America, the fact that you put 11 Supreme Court judges does not merit you to rule over the Supreme Court or the Constitution. So the Constitution is the number one thing that rules everybody. And the Supreme Court is the interpreter and the guardian of the how do you call how do you call that one? I forgot the name of it. The Constitution. So because we are black people, because we are selfish and we are greedy, because we just love money only in our pockets, because we don't care about the next person on the side, because we don't care about how the poor person is going to survive, how schools are going to come, how the young person will grow up to come and have a place where he can have a job to take care of themselves, have education to take care of themselves, and have a place to stay. They will do anything for the money to also build up for their family. So, in other words, I'm telling you this: when Akufo-Addo was paying the military services, he paid them 1,000 before we went for the election, and he promised them he was going to increase their pay. Immediately we finished the election, Akufo-Addo said he's not going to pay. He's not going to give them the increase anymore. Do you know why? Because Burma Camp voted against Akufo-Addo. The police service voted against Akufo-Addo. Michelle Camp voted against Akufo-Addo. And so for him seeing that all these entities, the soldiers, the police that voted against him, he won't pay the money he promised. So assuming they had voted for him, then he may pay it. But now he can see they are not on the side. So he blatantly told them, there's not going to be any more pay because you guys probably didn't vote for me. There's no reason why I should give you an increase of pay. So how can Akufo-Addo be a loyal president? How can he be? How infectious of a leader is he when people have died, 9 people have died, and Akufo-Addo just left the country to go to London to roam about? Up to now, he has not even said anything about the people who died. What does it tell you? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. But I'll tell you one secret. If we are not careful, and I'm saying this, if we are not careful, he's going to get a charge. A human rights charge. I'm telling you guys. And this is something that is about to come up. If we are not careful, if Akufo-Addo is not careful, he will get charges from the international community for human crime or the people that died and the commotion he's causing. Now, let me open your eyes on something. Why would Akufo-Addo, who is a human rights activist, why do you think that he will put a ban on protest? Hi, Oforiwa Abe, my sweetheart. How are you doing? So the point here is that this is how it is. Why would Akufo-Addo, him being an activist, everybody knows in this world that he's an activist. Kumi Preku and all that. I'm asking you, why has he led the police, leading them to put a ban on any protesting? Protesting is a right of every group, of every persons, of every kind. Nobody should be stopped for protesting. But you see, that is the way to draw the attention of the international community to come in and intervene. As long as people don't step up. That's the reason why everywhere in Africa, when people are protesting, the government will come down. Even when people were protesting, stop SARS, end SARS in Nigeria. What happened? The police shot people and killed people. Why? Because that alone opens the eyes of the international community to come in, if by force or not. That's the only thing that allows them to come in. If the people say it's called an uprising, if there is an uprising, that is what alerts and gives the mandate to the international community to come to the aid of the people. So they will shoot people so that they can go in and go and keep quiet. There used to be a time, once upon a time, where there was no WhatsApp, where there were no camera phones, where there were no phones, smartphones. But now, there are smartphones everywhere. Somebody could be standing in their window high above and they'll be taking a video down there and it's an evidence. And it goes everywhere. So you remember the time of the election, the internet was coming up and down in Ghana. Do you know why? Because they were trying to distort the services so that transferring and sharing of information, videos of the happening in Ghana can be hidden a little bit. And that's the reason why they were doing that. So Akufo-Addo is not just doing it for today. Akufo-Addo is on the road. Don't forget that he's a friend of Ouattara now. He is on the road to become a dictator of this country. He may not live the next 4 years because he has bribed. Because he feels that he does not have to do anything to merit the 4 years that he's asking for. So when you ask him, what have you done this 4 years? He'll tell you free education. Whether you like it or not, it's free education. Eti bi nwana mo asema mi ka nyina akire mu nyina ne se e wo se wo sorry e wo se wo o ma wani bre. You have to be serious. There should be more protesting. The court alone can't do it. But the only thing that's going to help NDC now to fight is they have good lawyers, they have good legal team. Could you believe that? MPP runs their mouth. Oh yeah, we have lawyers, we have good lawyers, we have book loan people, we have book loan, we are smart, we are educated. Look, it's just a running of mouth. They say it to let people know that, oh, but honestly, they are not that smart. One kick of the NDC and Peter Amewu was kicked out. There was a ban on Peter Amewu. Now, there's a fight on because the Attorney General, who is supposed to be the lawyer of the country, is now filing documents to put Peter Amewu back on ground when a judge has finally ruled over an issue that is very important, a human rights issue, where some were allowed to vote parliamentary and some were not allowed to vote parliamentary. Why should somebody be disenfranchised? Why? And for what reason? The Constitution do not allow that. The Constitution is there for everyone and everybody has to do it. Everybody has to vote. Everybody has the right to vote. Every person in Ghana has their right to vote. But here's the case: you want people to vote parliament, because they know that the voter region, the Hohoi, and all those areas are the stronghold of NDC. So now they bussed people from Accra, 70 buses and above, 70 people, 70 buses. So go figure, if an STC bus carries 50 people, 50 people, calculate 50 by 75 or 70. How much is that? And how did it happen that people from outside came in to come and vote for Peter Amewu? And they put some people in a place where they will, because they know the vote, they know how much people they need to bring in to equalize that place. Because they already know that that area has a total vote of 500,000. If I should put 500,000. 500,000. So a people of 500,000. And I know there's a stronghold of NDC. So now what am I going to do? I have to bring in, because the last time he beat me by maybe 20,000, 10,000, 15,000, or 8,000. So now if I'm able to bust people from outside and bring them in, then I'll be able to equalize with him. Plus, if they don't let these people over here who will definitely vote, who their vote will overpower me, then if they don't let them vote, then I will have the upper hand to be able to be elected, because I brought a lot of people to this nation and they are going to vote to overpower these people. And so they were not allowed to vote parliamentary. It should not happen anywhere in Ghana. But the corrupt EC sleeping with Akufo-Addo don't care. Now me can say se when ni briade na enimguase ba uhu, se when ni briade na se enimguase na e ba eni bre na wo ni ntino, I'm telling you, who share enimguase na e ba no, because your eyes are fixated, your mind is fixated, your greediness is fixated on what you are looking for, what you want to get. But as for the disgrace, you don't care about it. But by all means, by any way, we want to enimguase na ba be de na ba be boss say pa. When me guase e bi ne be na Akufo-Addo, e bi ne be na Akufo-Addo. In the entire history of Ghana, I have not seen an incompetent EC than Jimensa. After all, Akufo-Addo's cousin's wife is Jimensa. So who do you expect him to declare the elections for? You know, we are going to see. We want to see, guys. We want to see on the 4th of January, there's going to be a court case. We want to see exactly what the judges will say. If they override the judge, if they override Michael Boedi, the judge who ruled that case is called Michael Boedi. If they overrule Michael Boedi's case of knowing that that case is a case of human rights and everybody should be allowed to vote, and they override it, there's going to be chaos, because that means that our judiciary has been watered down. There's no integrity left for the judiciary. There's nothing or whatsoever for the judiciary. So we are waiting. We want to see what is going to happen. So now on the 4th of January, don't forget that the Supreme Court is on vacation. They're on vacation and they were going to come on the 19th of January. But you know what? Because of this case, because they want to put a Peter Amewu, they want to put Peter Amewu there. to add up to make it parliament, the majority in parliament. They have accepted this even though they are on vacation. This should tell you what is going to happen. This should straight up tell you. And you know one thing? They refused to announce and to collate Techiman South, because Techiman South was won by NDC. They refused to collate that one. They left it null and void. You know why? Because they want to make sure that Christopher Bayere will never come to parliament. And if he stopped from not coming to parliament, then if Peter Mewu goes in, they become the And so everything that is going on is dirty, it is bad, and it is very bad. And if they do not make sure they do the right thing, then that is the cause to fight. It is a cause to fight. Because many times, EC knows definitely that I will say, oh yeah, onye pasha, I was so fifi. But I'm telling you, on the NDC Beka, maybe I didn't know what quality results in not touching my south. I wouldn't say NDC for winning. Who said no dear unka? It's not part of your thing. You don't put it in there. You have not certified it. You have not certified it, and you have not gazetted it. And for what reason? What makes you think, sir, she has the right mind to not gazette whoever won that election at Techiman South? Why? Because that will make NDC the majority in parliament and other seats. And so wherever there was a problem, there's a place cry. They went and after all the boxes were put together and they were transferring them, just one place they went and took that box, a certain box, just so that there will be a petition filed on that too. Enti jimensa nyema oye nyina enye bibisao ade ba ko a mebisa no se eba ne se na chema wuntumi ekonya ballot papers that were stamped and templated. Where did they get it from? How did they get it? That was why he was talking about the 47, because he knew what he had. Maybe didn't throw her, and I mean cancer be here for no reason. They analyze it and they are drinking who any baby echo. And to make catch your plane, Unia, I'm telling you that if the judiciary frowns and never become, the referee and stand in the middle and do the right thing, I'm telling you, there's going to be bloodshed in Ghana. There's going to be bloodshed in Ghana. Because that means that our judiciary are just watered off, they are just corrupt, and they are thinking, and this is the reason why. This is the reason why Kevin Taylor always insults. I do understand that a lot of people don't like that aspect of Kevin Taylor insulting. But sometimes I feel that me as a person talking about the right thing do not have the power to change it. And once I don't have the power to change it, knowing that what they are doing is wrong gets you upset and angry. That's how come Kevin Taylor insults. And so I'm telling you, Maminka se Mitro, mini papa bi Ghana. Only soldier form penny 4 or Michelle Camp. Soldier form penny 4. You're from free Flagstaff House. So Mumbe Jessica. You're from free Flagstaff House. As only the party can say, oh, Charlie, I tell you over here, Shika, Flagstaff House. Let's see, a pudo Nya sisa mampanyifo no na nkola te fom enu nti na nkola integrity no o my serious no akache mpanyifo no se mo anya careful no mo anya the right thing again there enipa bewu because mpanyifo na jeje ahye omo ho na mo nkola na yedi so je ni ben no be so that ade oye for the people no be called na wakoko akoshutu you know, people who don't have weapons, who are just merely protesting. For what reason? For what reason? And to be honest, if Michael Buadi's order, even as he was called to Accra to rescind his decision on that Michael Buadi is the Peter Mewu's issue. If I'm telling you, if they put Peter Mewu back without re-voting in that place, Jack, if you see Ghana, because I just say they have made their mind to twist and to bend and to take the verdict of the people into their own hands. And that is not the way the judiciary has to act. If Trump would have been given that right, if the judiciary gave Trump that right, Trump would have not left power. But January 21st, he's going to be leaving. Whether he likes it or not. He cannot play. He's the commander-in-chief now. But he cannot. Look at what happened in America. Look at what happened in Ghana. America. Donald Trump, when he was in power, gave stimulus check of $1,200 per a person in a household. So if you're a man and a woman and 2 children, the man and the woman will receive $1,200 each, plus the children receive $500 each. When he was the president, when the coronavirus came, he gave $1,200. After he was voted and booted out, and they're talking about coronavirus, and they said we are going to give $600. Listen to what is happening. Donald Trump said $600 is too small. I want you to give the people $2,000 per person. You know why? He wants the favor, because I know he's going to be coming back again. And so he wants the favor. But now that Mitch McConnell, who is the leader of the Senate, the majority leader of the Senate, tossed the $2,000 out and said that it is a no-brainer and a no-show. Because now they know that the president do not have any more power left. By January 21st, he's going. Why did Mitch McConnell thought that the $2,000 was wrong? Because I don't know how much money there is. I don't know how much money it's going to cost. But to give everybody $2,000 is a little bit outrageous. I would take it. But the point of it is that they are thinking about the future. Yes, the money will go back to the system. But still, it is too much. But Trump is using that as a yardstick to give troubles to, what do you call it, in Biden. Because if he gives that money away, Biden will have even less money to work with when it comes to power. So he doesn't care. He just wants the money gone so that people will say that he did this and he did that. So Trump went to court with a lot of frivolous accusations and stuff. But my brothers and my sisters, every one of his accusations were thrown out by even Republican judges. And until I make catch up say, Broni nim jansa, Broni nya kwasia, ka yesio mo footsteps, and yenya nipa, womu nyansa no me tape that patriotism, that love of the country from these people, and be able to invest those things in our country, the better it will be for our country. But anytime we think that our judiciary, our, house, which is the parliament and the presidency, are always in check. Because if you look at it, in the olden days, they used the American Constitution to form Ghana's Constitution. But we are not able to control our checks and balances, and the president becomes the Lord. The president, controls the police. He controls the military. He controls the parliament, and he controls the judiciary. It's not supposed to happen like that. And so, if Akufo-Addo is that's what I'm saying. For these things to stop and to cut down, no president is supposed to be allowed to pick an EC or to pick an IGP or to pick, how do you call it, a chief justice. If they are autonomous, the president shouldn't choose them. They should choose themselves with their own team. And that will go a long way to help Ghana. Because if a man is there and he knows that he was not chosen by the sitting president, then he shouldn't have to be loyal to him. He should be able to stand against him. You get my point? So my point is, guys, let me pause and let me answer this guy. He's insulting my people here. Samuel Ahinkura, I'm going to warn you one more time. One more time. If you don't know and you insult anybody again, I know I don't care when you insult me, that's fine. But you are saying that most of NDC people are a bunch of idiots. That's fine. Do not insult anybody on this platform. If you feel that we are idiots, why are you here in the midst of idiots? Why are you in the midst of idiots? If you know you are in the midst of idiots and non-entities and fools, please, why should you be here? And what are you doing here? You should understand that you are equally as foolish and as idiotic as anybody else that you think. You are sitting over there and as an old man is destroying Ghana, and you think that we NDC people who wants the right thing to be done are idiots. You are the rather idiot, because I don't think you have common sense. I don't think you have the heart for Ghana. I don't think you have the integrity to love Ghana and its own. I'm telling you, because if you come here and come and insult my people here, Jack, I'll deal with you. I'll deal with you. I'm having an intellectual program and I'm talking to my people and my people are listening. Let my people listen to what I'm saying. If you think you can't be here and bring up good arguments, I'm begging you, leave peacefully before I unleash the lions of this platform on you. Let me not unleash any lion here over you. Because ye wa ye buye ho. Te umbu hu a na se be wagimi a free platform so nako koroko bie wa platform. Nako ka won kwasi asem no ho. Na ha de me platform me fie nie e na ma invite di para ma ba no mu tie nyasasem a ye ka. Enti se wadwene so a na won tinyasasem na se a mesrew me pa ocho free ha obian kase be waste obian kase brabe waste data and now energy. Do yourself a favor. Drink poison and die. Okay? Drink poison and die. A buffoon like you. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please deal with that guy for me. Deal with that guy for me. For me. You people pull his profile and insult him for me. Deal with him. Because if you come and insult me, I will accept it. But you can't come and insult my people on this platform. Yeah. I love my people to death. And so, my people, to be honest to you, this is the state of affairs in Ghana. I'm just waiting. People, I am just waiting to hear. Me say, if the country is important to this judiciary, who are supposed to be the guardian of the constitution, I am just waiting to hear the verdict of what will become of Peter Amewu and woe betides if they cripple our constitution and say that those people who were living in the same constituents, who were not allowed to vote parliamentarian and only vote presidential, are not human beings enough to choose over themselves a leader who is capable for them. That will be an act of protest, serious protest, because it means that the judiciary has been sleeping and has forgotten their job, and they are no more guarding the constitution. They are only using their brains and their stomachs. That is why I have not minti we be krada. Minti be the krase, minti be the krase. Obi judge to meet na Ghana. Na wama sermons. I will be a tiabrochire. Na sermons on the man ne pakrono. Yen serve ni pani yo. Yen serve ni pani ye. And so you to meet the nipa court without a lawyer, without a representative, without a person himself being present, and then the case gets ruled, and they charge whoever did not get, how do you call it, a summons to appear in court to pay money. That is how corrupt, that's how bad our judiciary is acting. And by the saying, and yet to me, dio biasema onipa kono ti abrochire. E ba ne se na otumi di na asem abra nipa ni ho ye ma nipa ne sermons ye ma nipa ne papa bia so mbra court ye ma ne time so mbra court na so omutumi ko gina court no mo di asem nipa ni ho no mo di asem no wo mu di asem no wi a no mo buka to nipa kono oni ho absent no so eh e ba ne say ya no mo enti wey ko kan bia ye beka just when the atem. Because me ko can be na di atem sisi a ye bechi mi akotumo back in Japan the bufu no the dio matamo a they give him a pat in the back. They give him a pat in the back. Why are there koso na so ohiania oni bi edi bonia obi tumi ko wi akokọ baako judge tumi tena se no wa bodeka wa amane 10 years on go them. 10 years so onko them. Minianamo. Rollins adia ya judges sebe judges bio oku wo no. Mr. I'm not in favor of that, and I'm not happy that happened. I am not. And today, as I'm talking to you, I actually condemn that act that Rollins did. But to be honest with you, if this is the way the judiciary will behave, then I beg your pardon. My condemnation for that act was not wrong. Neither is it bad, because the point of it is that as a judge of any caliber or any height, Supreme Court, whatever, to the lowest court, I'm just saying, nukure any mabotre, nukure sa uma me bakra enunti de akache mo say, oya judge na wunua obi a wunim no case ye de ba wadi mu a once you know that this person is close to me, I know this person, you need to recuse yourself and get the heck out of that seat and appoint somebody else to rule the case. It means that no judge should be biased. No judge has the right to just be biased upon people that they have to. So this is the point. This is the point. Enti the meka nyina na say monwe ne ho na monhunu say baby o man ne kono eyedin. Baby o man ne kono eyedin. Na me pacho bisa wo senka boni bi nim, senka boni bi nim enka ba ne se na ayi an EC official wo na wo ye a returning officer na for pink sheet copy bra wo say ni ho pink sheet bia ni ho me ba cho say ene bibi na wo see a why are you hiding the pink sheet? I'm telling you, member mo say Ghana for a week oh. Ghanaians are not weak. Ghanaians will fight. Ghanaians will fight. I'm telling you, do you know why they want to be majority in parliament? Do you know why? Do you know why? I am telling you, if NDC gets the majority in parliament, Jack, they will impeach Nanado. They will impeach him. Because I never own him. Also, me impeaching. Yes, they will impeach the hell out of him. And then who becomes the president? And who becomes the vice? And that is the reason why they don't want to let that go. And so this is the point. So guys, let me open your eyes on this. I want you to listen to this brave man. Listen to this brave man. The man I will always love. Guys, I want you to listen to this man for me. Listen to this man for me. I beg you. I will always love this man. I'll always love this man. Please, do me a favor and hear this brave man of Ghana. A handsome man. Bema otutatai. Bema otutatai. Bema okasana nuham. O bema owo yireso na nkola ne mama endi ne ho agro. I'm telling you, Agwawe, or Nyansa say, you know, Nyansa, or ye endowed with wisdom. Yeah, or endowed with wisdom. Guys, Sabon Pekora, Mesabo Munti, and Famame, Madame say.
You, my countrymen and women, today because I'd like to address a few of the issues that have come up since December 7th, following the election. On the issue of how best to proceed for me as a candidate, and I believe for us as a nation. Increasingly, many of us who are attempting to understand how the Electoral Commission arrived at the results of this last election are being advised to forgo the issue in the interest of peace. We're being reminded that Ghanaians are a peace-loving people, and Ghana, unlike many other nations on our dear continent of Africa, has not succumbed to war or been plagued with violence. As a former president of the Republic of Ghana, a country that I love dearly, I'm here to assure you that I know what it is to act in the interest of peace. I've always done so without reservation or hesitation. I know what it is to contest an election and to have the good people of this country choose my opponent to serve as their next president. I know what it is to concede. I have done so before. In 2016, when the election was not called in my favor, I conceded. I conceded in a congratulatory call to my opponent. And then not long after that, I conceded in a public address to the good people of Ghana. I considered not simply in the interest of peace and democracy, but because I respect the will of the people. I did then, and I still do now. So when I say that I will not concede this election, please know that I'm not taking this decision lightly. Understand that it's not because of a desire for power, but because of a dedication to principle and a commitment to democracy. Based on the irregular and inconsistent results that were reported, I have reason to doubt that this election was not free, fair, or transparent. And without those fundamental pillars in place, how can any of us be sure that the results announced truly represent the will of the people? My brothers and sisters, I stand here today to remind you that Ghana is a peaceful nation, precisely because Ghanaians have always stood on principle. We've always fought for our democracy. Our forefathers and foremothers have always understood that without this basic foundation, whatever peace exists in our country will not be lasting. Whatever liberation we have as the architects of our collective future will soon be lost. Whenever we decide to take the easiest road, the first step is always surrender. And often the thing that we lose is the very thing that we value the most. The freedom that we enjoy today was not given on a silver platter. It came at a price. It came because our forefathers and mothers stood on principle. Our history books are filled with the names of individuals who refused to take the road that was the easiest or safest or probably the most convenient. They refused to surrender their ability to appeal for justice in a land where they are meant to have a voice and use it for the betterment of themselves and their children and future generations. All who fought for independence stood on principle to demand the sovereignty of this land that belongs to us, the people of Ghana. Indeed, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah once said, "Those who will judge us merely by the heights we have achieved will do well to remember the depths from which we started." There are many of you who are listening to me this evening who have spent your entire lives knowing only democracy. You know a Ghana in which every 4 years the citizens go to the ballot box to exercise their right to choose their leaders who they believe will serve their best interest. You know a Ghana in which the baton of power has been passed graciously and without incident from one party to another. A country with hundreds of radio stations and dozens of newspapers. A country where citizens can openly critique the performance of their elected officials. A country where they can protest peacefully and without fear of punishment. It is a Ghana that your mothers and fathers, your grandmothers and grandfathers wanted you to know. It is a Ghana that they dreamed of, and some even died trying to make that dream a reality. But also listening tonight are the many of you who remember a different Ghana. In that Ghana, most if not all of those political transitions and social liberties I just spoke of earlier did not exist. The airwaves were not filled with radio stations. There were not numerous newspapers. People held their peace because to complain about the people in power was to risk all manner of reprisals. In that Ghana, presidential terms were interrupted by coup d'etats and former heads of state were executed. There was Kalabule and Operation Feed Yourself, not to mention years of hunger, bushfires, drought, and one economic recovery program after another. Even the Ghana of the Komipreko demonstrations bear little resemblance to the Ghana of today. We've traveled quite far as a nation in such a short period of time. The road has not been easy, nor has it been absent of obstacles. And that is why our beloved nation Ghana is often referred to as the trailblazer on the African continent. With each achievement, we have grown stronger as a people and as a nation. Through these trials and tribulations, our democracy has also been strengthened. My brothers and sisters, in a democracy as strong as ours, peace and justice can, and in fact, they usually do coexist. And that is because in a democracy such as the one we have built in Ghana, it is the people who hold the power. Indeed, in 2012, when the election was called in my favor, my opponent challenged the results, as was his right, and he took the matter to court. 8 long months of an election petition, far from destroying our democracy, rather reinforced our commitment to it and affirmed the strength of our institutions, particularly the judiciary. It is only in governments where the people are powerless and at the mercy of those who hold office that peace, or at least what passes as peace, can exist without justice. Some people have asked me what I hope to gain by challenging the results of this election. Let me tell you, I want perhaps the very same thing that my opponent wanted when in 2012 he challenged the results of that election. I want the removal of doubt. I want for all of us to know that our elections should be free, fair, and safe, and that we do not have to settle for a process that leaves us confused and with more questions than answers. I want a Ghana where institutions of state can be held to account, where we can stand on principle and demand transparency without the risk of losing our lives. When people lose their lives, as 7 people have done in the course of our elections, we're moving backwards, not forward. We're unraveling the very fabric of our democracy. We're risking the loss of 3 decades worth of progress. When today we see armed military and militia in our collation centers and election outcomes declared at the point of a gun, for us who have witnessed our country's journey through all its post-independence travails, we wonder if we have truly exorcised the ghost of our torturous past. We must continue to be a nation in which our young citizens have faith in our institutions, trust the rule of law, and rely on the presence of peace because there is justice. Ghana must be a country where we citizens know and believe without any doubt whatsoever that the way forward is determined by the will of the Ghanaian people, and that we can hold our institutions of state accountable and guarantee that they work in the favor of the national interest and not in the interest of the administration or the person in power. That is what I want. And this is why earlier today my lawyers filed a petition in the Supreme Court of Ghana challenging the declaration of the results of the December 7, 2020 presidential elections made by Mrs. Jean Mensah, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. I've been compelled to do this because of her clear failure to act in accordance with our Constitution. I thank you for your kind attention. May your new year be one of good health and prosperity. May God bless each of you, and may God continue to bless our homeland, Ghana.
Yeah, guys, thank you very much for listening to our guy. Thank you so much. That's my man right there, and I will always love him, no matter what anybody will do to me. He is my man. Or you're very respectful, or you're very honorable, or not a gentleman. You know, or not the Mr. What did be to turn on? Someone say, what's we keeping the cool? Maybe some put video picture. Some pull video picture. Ekufu ado home. Boy, I must ekufu ado ni papa baby no nam hono. Ekufu ado. Ekufu ado. Yeah, maybe we don't want to say some things because some things are personal, so we want to keep it like that. Ate. So guys, this is the Akufo-Addo. This is the Akufo-Addo.
The presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, says his party will provide substantial evidence to the Electoral Commissioner and the law courts to enable them to investigate several instances of fraud and malpractices which occurred during the December 28 presidential runoff. Nana Akufo-Addo said the party feels Ghana's democracy will be strengthened through this action, which will ensure that the path Ghanaians have chosen remains.
Flanked by his vice presidential candidate, Dr. Mahama Bawumia, and his campaign director, Dr. Kofi Konadu Apreku, and other top party members, Nana Akufo-Addo said the NPP party initially protested against the conduct of the presidential runoff in several constituencies.
In about 10 constituencies, in the majority of polling stations in those 10 constituencies, there was nobody there standing for me whatsoever. They had been physically prevented from being able to go there to do their work. I'm entitled to have agents at every polling station in the country. Significant numbers of people that I sent into the Volta region, in the Volta region as well, to act as my polling stations, were disabled from being able to do their work. And as a result, no monitoring of the processes in these 10 out constituencies took place with any representative of mine. My understanding that is against the electoral laws of our country. That is the kind of evidence that I'll be presenting to the Electoral Commission, backed by police statements, backed by medical evidence of the brutalities. All of those are going to be laid out before. And also statements by concerned standards by observers, etc. There's a whole box of things that we're going to present, in which all of these elements are there.
Nana Akufo-Addo said the party is concerned about voting in the
evidence of the brutalities. All of those are going to be laid out before. And also statements by concerned standards by observers, etc. There's a whole box of things that we're going to present, in which all of these elements are there.
Nana Akufo-Addo
medical evidence of the brutality. All of those are going to be laid out. And also statements by concerned standards by observers, etc. There's a whole box of things that we're going to present. Medical evidence of the brutalities. All of those are going to be laid out before. And also statements by concerned standards by observers, etc.
Hey, guys, my madam is here. Oh, my madam is here. Let me go back. Hey, my madam is here. I can see my madam. My madam, don't go away. My number one, madam. Mary Ebwedu, madam. Me try pruse why? Me try pruse. Oya mi shiraw. Oya mi shiraw. Me pa ma ba program si ba kokra no be kasa keke. Be kasa ma me keke. Be ka nyansasem atu yeso. Yentie be shira yen. Why? Me inbox so. Madam one. Hey guys, and am I blessed too? My blessed rod. Boss nangasa. And we're waving inside. I'm waving inside. Boss nangasa ni. Kevin Taylor ni wo no wo. Alright, madam. Me too proceed. Me try proceed. Aha, guys, let's go back and watch this our hypocrite over here. The box of things.
Box of things that were concern standards by observers, etc. There's a whole box of things that we're going to present. Concern standards by observers, etc. There's a whole box of things that we're going to present in which all of these elements are there.
Nana Akufo-Addo said the party
concern standards by observers, etc. There's a whole box of things. Concern standards by observers, etc. There's a whole
box of things.
Box of things. Concern standards by
oh
observers,
my goodness.
etc. There's a whole box of things. Statements by concern standards by observers, etc. There's a whole box of things. Statements by concern standards by observers.
Guys, are you watching the guy on the left, Baulaya? Are you watching him? As for him, everything they say, good or bad, he's nodding his head. He's doing this, shaking his head. There's nothing in his head. There is absolutely nothing in his head. The brain in his head is gone. It's flashed out. You see, the integrity of a person will show you right there and there. You see, fabrication. This man will never, ever, ever concede defeat. It's so bad. Like, I think about it and I'm like, I don't even get it. Like, Akufo-Addo, you never considered defeat. Even 2008. I'm asking you, who was the president? It was Kufuor who was the president. But you didn't win it and still had to come and say all these things. You see, so it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing.
Etc. There's a whole box of things that we're going to present in which all of these elements are there.
Nana Akufo-Addo said the party is concerned about voting in the Volta region, just as questions have been raised about voting in Ashanti region. He said the crux of his party's complaint is the investigation of irregularities that occurred during the runoff elections, especially the forcible prevention of its agents from exercising their rights.
It is in our interest as Ghanaians, as individual citizens, that elections are held in a proper manner and that therefore authentic results occur which reflect the true will of our people. That is what we should all be striving for. So I don't have any difficulty with him looking into what happened in Ashanti or wherever else in the country that he may choose to look into and satisfy himself that the thing was regularly and lawfully done. If he does satisfy himself to that point in time, and he makes that certification, we will take it from there.
So my people, this is the way Akufo-Addo thinks. This is the way he thinks. And nothing else but this is the way he thinks. And I want to show you this too.
demonstrated that the strengthening of Ghana's pillars of democracy is a collective effort. All citizens and institutions have a stake in it. The Accra debate was a spectacular success, and I trust that the debates in Tamale would measure up to that of Accra. The Accra debate put a positive spotlight on Ghana It generated unprecedented media and public interest in our growing democracy. Our local media, as well as the BBC, SABC, Reuters, CNN, Sky TV, and others covered it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no doubt that the Accra debate helped to make the electioneering process issue-based. For well over 1 week, the print and electronic media were awash with opinions and comments on the policies to get there by taking concrete steps. Wishes our distinguished debater.
State, members of parliament, traditional rulers, religious leaders, distinguished invited guests, and all of you fellow citizens of this great land of ours, I bid you all a very good afternoon and welcome all of you warmly to this second presidential debate organized by the Institute of Economic Affairs in view of elections 2008. We want to thank again.
Presidential candidates have 2 minutes within which to answer a main question. Moderators have the discretion to ask follow-up questions in 10 seconds. Candidates have 1 minute within which to answer a follow-up question. Moderators have the discretion to allow a right to rebuttal. Candidates have 1 minute in exercising their right to rebuttal. There shall be no clapping during the debate. However, you are free to do so at the break in the first round of questions will focus on good governance. Our moderators for this evening are Professor Ivan Adai-Mensah.
Moderating together with
Ivan Adai-Mensah.
The rules have already been read out to you, but I'd just like to reiterate some of them. We're expecting and we're absolutely sure,
so as to impact positively on the lives of the ordinary Ghanaian. Nana.
Thank you very much. First of all, once again, fellow Ghanaians, it's good to be back here. We want to thank again the IEA for this program, as well as my colleagues around the table. I think the question is very apt. Definitely, after 16 years of operating a constitution, especially since both the major political parties in our country have had an opportunity to work it, there are several matters that have come up for discussion. And my way forward is that those issues will put a constitutional review commission in place very soon after taking office to go around the country collecting the views of our people to see how strong is this demand for reform. There are matters that all of us know about. Ministers in Parliament, should they come from Parliament? The powers of the Attorney General, should they be separated? The issue as to whether or not we should have a Prime Minister rather than a Vice President, like many of our neighbors do. The term of the President has come up. Is 4 years the ideal term for us, or are we talking 5 years?
Guys, you see, this guy, this is why I play this video. All right, this is why I played this video, and I want you to see the kind of person that he is. All right, I want you to see the kind of person that he is, and that's the reason why you see what he said. Whether or not to have a prime minister instead of a vice president. So it means that if it worked, he will be the president, ceremonial president, and instead of a vice president, there will be how do you call it? Whatever. It's not Jina or Wano. Adrina Ekufado Okurano. Masa, he wants to stay in power for life. Oh. Guys, I am telling you, this man wants to stay in power for life. He is not looking to basically just sit down here and just be whatever. He just wants power for life. That is what Ekufado is looking for. To have power for life. And that's all that he wants. And the question they ask you does not bring anything concerning whether there should be a prime minister instead of a vice president. What does a prime minister do? Guys, what does a prime minister do? I'm just asking you. Question, what does a prime minister do? Why should you be a president and have a prime minister? Because what you know, you want to do the same thing. Your father was a ceremonial president, and you also want to be a ceremonial president. When you guys, you remember when Atamils won this election, he came out asking for a power sharing deal. He came out asking for a power sharing deal. He understood that this President Mills won, but he wanted to be a prime minister. So this is the kind of person that I'm talking about. It is not the presidency. No, Kurano ni na adwina owono Jack. Na adwino enye normal Jack. Na adwino enne de oye no. Wa plan eche. Se obeye president power ye de it onya sorry ye. It nyema na oye enye enne se oye go di 4 years o. Mese mo dem pa bose mo hwe. They want to make Ghana a one party state so that he will control everything. And this point that he's doing is testing the waters. What testing who say judiciary no a week because what told me. What testing who say media no a week. What I say? What testing who say opposition a week. And then Ghanaians are not educated. Most Ghanaians are not educated. What I say? And this is how it starts. Guys, this is how it starts. So let's go back and continue for yourself.
We've got the question of the election of district chief executives. Is that something that we want to see, or we want to have them appointed? These are some of the issues. We're talking, for instance, also about the creation of regions. We have at the moment very stringent provisions for creating more regions. Should we have looser provisions? I think these are the matters that the Constitutional Review Commission will take before our people. And if the answer is in the affirmative, that yes, there is a widespread demand out there, then to initiate the processes in the Constitution for amending the Constitution. That would be my response to what you have to say, Professor.
Dr. Ndom.
First of all, I wish to thank the IEA for providing us with this forum. And fellow Ghanaians, this is one of the important questions that we need to answer. Because you may say good governance. I say responsive governance. Because we want a government that is responsive to the needs of the citizen. And so there are indeed specific areas in the Constitution that I believe need change. And what I will do, should I become the next president of Ghana, is within the first 100 days, work with the leadership in Parliament and others to put the review process in motion. First of all, decentralization, bringing government to the people, taking power from the hands of the president, and ensuring that our people, who now have the right of electing a president, electing a member of parliament, electing other members of the assembly, to elect their own district, municipal, and metropolitan chief executive. The people deserve that right. And then to elect all the members of the district assembly. Secondly, to make sure that people go to parliament only to become lawmakers and not to want to become ministers, so that they can indeed concentrate on the responsibility of making laws and separate the executive from the legislature. And then we all know the issues of corruption and difficulties with the law in Ghana. I want to lay...
Guys, you know, we will miss Pakwesi Indom big time. 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 He was a man with good idea. But you see what happened to him? Now, collapse all his business and render him useless. A man of this stature, look at him. Look at him. Look at him and what has become of him today. Look at him in 2008. Even before Akufo-Addo could not even compare himself to him around that time. Speaking clearly, with distinct, with real, genuine ideas. Now, what did Akufo-Addo do to him? He collapsed all his businesses and made him a nobody. All right? So, guys, let's go on. Please keep sharing. This is a video. I want you to see for yourself. Me, I can't. It is there. Book no lie. Video 2 no lie. He did there. You for watch.
Clearly on the table the separation of the Attorney General's responsibility and office from that of the Minister of Justice, so that we can at least deal with the perception that if you're a member of a certain party, you go scotch-free. But if you're not a member of that party, then you get punished very, very heavily. These are some of the very specific things that go to the core of responsive governance. And I will deal with them with dispatch immediately to get the rest of the country.
Guys, do you hear what he said? I want to repeat that part for you people to listen. Listen very carefully. What this man said. Listen, guys, listen to this, what this man said right now. And this is our problem today. What he said in 2008 has become our problem today. Hey, Erade. Asemo. Guys, let's watch this quick.
People taking power from the hands of the president and ensuring that our people, who now have the right of electing a president, electing a member of parliament, electing other members of the assembly, to elect their own district, municipal, and metropolitan chief executive. The people deserve that right. And then to elect all the members of the district assembly. And secondly, to make sure that people go to parliament only to become lawmakers and not to want to become ministers, so that they can indeed concentrate on the responsibility of making laws and separate the executive from the legislature. And then we all know the issues of corruption and difficulties with the law. Should I become the next president of Ghana, is within the first 100 days, work with the leadership in parliament and others to put the review process in motion. First of all, decentralization, bringing government to the people, taking power from the hands of the president and ensuring that our people, who now have the right of electing a president, electing a member of parliament, electing other members of the assembly, to elect their own district, municipal, and metropolitan chief executive. The people deserve that right. And then to elect all the members of the district assembly. And secondly, to make sure that people go to parliament only to become lawmakers and not to want to become ministers, so that they can indeed concentrate on the responsibility of making laws and separate the executive from the legislature. And then we all know the issues of corruption and difficulties with the law in Ghana. I want to lay clearly on the table the separation of the Attorney General's responsibility and office from that of the Minister of Justice, so that we can at least deal with the perception that if you're a member of a certain party, you go scotch-free. But if you're not a member of that party, then you get punished very, very legislature. And then we all know the issues of corruption and difficulties with the law in Ghana. I want to lay clearly on the table the separation of the Attorney General's responsibility and office from that of the Minister of Justice, so that we can at least deal with the perception that if you're a member of a certain party, you go scotch-free. But if you're not a member of that party, then you get punished very, very heavily. These are some of the very specific things that go to the core of responsive governance. And I will deal with them with dispatch immediately to get the rest of the country together with us, sell the idea to the people, and make it happen. Free. But if you're not a member of that party, then you get laws and separate the executive from the legislature. And then we all know the issues of corruption and difficulties with the law in Ghana. I want to lay clearly on the table the separation of the Attorney General's responsibility and office from that of the Minister of Justice, so that we can at least deal with the perception that if you're a member of a certain party, you go scotch-free. But if you're not a member of that party, then you get punished very, very heavily. These are some of the very specific things that go to the core of responsive governance. And I will deal with them with dispatch immediately to get the rest of the country together with us, sell the idea to the people, and make it happen.
Professor Mills.
Well, once again, I would like to add my voice to the words uttered by my colleagues. I thank the good Lord for making it possible for us to be here today, and I wish my colleagues all the best of luck. Years after 16 years, one has to take a look at the Constitution. Clearly, changes have come, and there's a need for us to take a fresh look at the Constitution, what needs to be done. One area is with the Vice Presidency. If I talk about it, one should not be surprised. The appointment of the Vice President, where the Vice President has a problem with the President, what happens? We look at the judiciary. Is there going to be an upper limit to the number of judges to the Supreme Court? You look at decentralization, how effective it is. How can we make the people, decide their own fate and destiny? Now there's also the question of members of parliament. Should they be ministers? Can they combine and combine effectively? What are we doing about parliament to strengthen parliament itself? The appropriation to parliament, the help for parliament, these are all areas that we need to look at. We need to look at the powers of the executive. Do they lead to exclusion? Is all power concentrated in the hands of the executive? Do people think that it's a winner-take-all affair? These are areas that we need to look at. But let me say that it is for the people to decide. Views must be collated, sought and collated. And at the end of the day, we must take decisions which will make it possible for us to move this country forward, to learn from the mistakes of the past and improve the Constitution as we go along. In other jurisdictions, it's done regularly, and we should be able to do it too.
Dr. Mahama.
Good evening, fellow Ghanaians. I'm happy that we've had this opportunity to appear before you to present our views. With the issue of constitutional amendment, I'm not so sure that the Constitution is the problem. I think that the good governance that we are looking at, there are many things that we can do to bring about good governance. But one area of the Constitution that I'm particularly concerned about is the issue of the Council of State. Some of the very first appointments of the President are supposed to be on the advice of the Council of State. But the President also appoints some members to the Council of State. So while he needs advice from the Council of State, is not yet informed. I would like to see a constitutional amendment that allows a holdover of the Council of State to advise the incoming President on some of these appointments. That is one area of concern to me. But coming back to the issue of the Constitution, as I said, for me, the real change that we need is actually to reduce corruption and make the institutions of governance, Parliament, the judiciary, the NCC, and the other institutions, Serious Fraud Office, to have systems within them that work very well for all of us. And I think at this point in time, tampering with the Constitution will not add too much to our problems. Our problems are people, government performing according to systems. Everybody knows that our systems are not working. When I say systems, I'm not just talking about the president and cabinet and corruption, but I'm talking about even the district assembly level. The district chief executive wields a lot of power, spends a lot of money, yet he is not accountable to the people. He should be made accountable in an election. That's what I would do.
Okay, Israel, I turn it over to you.
As we go on to our second question, and I'll start with you, Dr. Pakwesi Indu. The district assemblies are supposed to be responsible for developmental and social issues at the local level. What measures would you introduce to deepen decentralization of government in Ghana so that we have not just decentralization for decentralization's sake, but decentralization that brings real benefits to the people?
Well, as you probably know, I have served as an elected member of a district assembly, and therefore I have learned firsthand what is it that we need to do to make sure that governance and development at the grassroots level works. And so I'll go back to the answer to the first question, that the very first thing we need to do is to put power in the hands of the people. They elect the people. If the people don't do what they're required to do the next time, they boot them out and they let someone else in. That is what is done in London, in South Africa, and many other places, and development is accelerated. So for me, that is the first step. The second step is actual fact, the decentralization of central agencies that today, by law, are supposed to go back to the districts. And the law is there, but the decentralization hasn't happened. One of the first things I will do is to make sure that that devolution takes place. The people who are supposed to go to the local level go there. And then we see more revenue to the people at the local level. Today it's about 7.5% or so of national revenue. That's not enough. We're keeping a lot at the center. And so we need to seed a lot more revenue to the local level, to the district level, and ensure that they indeed have the resources with which they have to work. But the centerpiece in my program here is the election of the district, municipal, metropolitan chief executive, and the rest of the district assembly members to ensure accountability at the local level is there. You should see us, the assembly members, the people hold us, the elected ones. We are the ones they hold accountable. But then the district chief executive goes free. And then they are free to do whatever they want. When they are elected, you will see rapid development at the local level.
Thank you, Professor Mills.
Well, it is important that decentralization brings power to the very people. And first of all, you have to look at the demarcation exercise. Which areas will the decentralization cover? Some have been done in the past which have not been really effective. But you want to make sure that people have a voice in the way they are ruled. One of the things that you need to do is to ensure that the district assemblies account regularly to the people. Before and after sittings, they must engage the people, explain policies to them. The broadcasting code has to be amended so the local FM station can broadcast the decisions and the policies of the district assemblies. You need to give them revenue. There are certain activities which can be decentralized, like passport applications, company registrations. You need to beef up the manpower of the district assemblies. We must encourage graduates to work there, look at their manpower requirements. When it comes to revenue, the guidelines issued by the local government ministry on the use of the district assembly common fund must be abolished. They must give in the leeway to decide how they are going to use the revenue. We must also find them some other areas of revenue. You also have to decentralize certain departments, health, education, among others. There must be also participating budget so that the people at the grassroots can decide what they want and also track down releases to them. We must ensure that the district assemblies are accountable. As to the election of the DCE, I have my own views about that. You have to talk about compatibility and fidelity. And I believe that the central government, which is the central government, which is partisan, needs somebody to liaise between central government and the non-partisan district assembly.
Okay, thank you. And Dr. Mahama.
Yes, the real change for me will be to make sure that not only will the district chief executive be elected, but that each regional minister will be part of the cabinet. I want to move the government closer to the people. Let them take control of doing things at the regional level, at the district level. There is too much concentration of power and money in the hands of the people at the center. And because of that, contractors do a job in Olobo in Western region. They have to come to Accra and spend many days chasing after certificates. I don't think that helps because they need 105 signatures to get approval for their money, which by the time they get it, it's already whittled away by the corrupt practices within the system. So the best way to do it is to move the money to the districts, move the money to the regions, and hold regional people, regional minister, district chief executive accountable to the people in the region. Take the northern region or the 3 northern regions. Everybody talks about them being backward. How do you move it forward when the people at the center have to go to Accra to get, to get directives as to what to do? Give them the power to develop their regions and hold them accountable. Their necks will be on the block, so far as I'm concerned. When you do that, you really move the money there, move the activity there, you will actually decentralize. Also, all district assembly members will be elected. I will provide a technical team that will take indigents from those areas who want to provide advice but do not want to go through the hassle of being elected on this technical team to advise the district assembly as some of the developmental things that they need to do. That way, you are giving them the expertise without requiring people who may be shy to go for elections to be on it. That way also, you are not appointing people to the district assembly to dilute the effectiveness of elections.
Self-government is always the best sort of government. I mean, the closer government is to the people, the better it is, the quality of government it involves. So I have no difficulty at all in accepting the principle that those who exercise power in the locality must also be accountable, i.e. they should be elected. But I think in order for that to happen effectively, there's some structures that we need to put in place. The Local Government Service Act that came out in the year 2006 has already begun to work. It has already begun the process of transferring civil servants in the center to the districts. I think that process has to become substantially completed before we can move on to the stage of direct elections of civil servants, of the local government politicians. Secondly, money. Can never run anything without it. Currently, we're talking about 7.5% of the overall revenue of the state being ceded to local government. We're proposing 10%. Immediately move from 7.5% to 10% so that you can generate more resources for local government institutions to work with. Thirdly, we need also to look at the question of regions. Not only are we talking about district, but in bringing government closer to the people, we're also talking about the structure of our regional governments. Are they adequate? Are they not something that we should need to look at? Because it would seem to me that in some parts of the country, the requirement for more regions is there. That ought to be very much part of an effective decentralization program for our country. But we're looking right down the barrel and saying, yes, elections are critical. Secondly, the money is critical. And thirdly, making sure that the units that you're dealing with are units that are responsive and accountable. But I'm 100% in favor of the idea of moving rapidly towards direct election of chief executives as well as of the members of the assembly. I think.
Oh, you can round up, please.
Now, I'm just saying that the proposal about having some people elect, as it were, experts being in the assembly is a thing that I will still keep, even against a wholly elected assembly. A few people being appointed by the president to serve that purpose will be useful.
Now, you've all talked about election at the district level. Both the assembly members as well as the district chief executive. At the moment, election of the assembly members is supposed to be on non-partisan basis. Would you want that to continue, or would you rather elections were held on party or partisan basis? To all of you.
Who should begin?
Yeah, starting again from the one who started the question. There's a follow-up for everybody.
Yes. You know, we pretend that we are not engaged in party politics at the assembly level. That is not true. As I said, I have sought election at the local level. And believe me, political parties sponsor these people. And when you go to the assembly, we know who is the NDC member, who is the CPP member, who is the NPP member. So let's stop that charade. And let us make sure that the political parties, the people are smart enough to elect a president on a political platform as a party member, smart enough to elect the members of parliament as politicians belonging to a political party. Certainly, they are smart enough to elect the right person from the right political party to represent them at the local level. That is what I will propose.
Okay, Mills.
I think that candor in politics is very important. You want people with the right ability with the right expertise to represent them. I believe that the idea behind the non-partisan nature at the very beginning was to try and get people who would otherwise not stand to come. But I agree with Dr. Indo that the time has come when we have to take the bull by the horns. We have to agree that what is happening is in fact something like a smoke screen. Parties are sponsoring candidates. And therefore, I think that we should throw it open. But at the same time, a certain portion can be reserved, as is being done, for the infusion of expertise, the marginalized, etc., so that they can also be appointed. A mix of the two, I believe, that will ensure that we get the right collection of people who will represent the people at the grassroots.
Dr. Mahama?
Certainly, I would advocate elections on a partisan basis, because I think at the district level. So there has to be some checks and balances to make sure that that doesn't happen. Otherwise, we'll undermine the district assembly concept.
It's not partisan as we speak. I mean, all of us who are in the field know perfectly well that the elections to the district assemblies are all taking place on a partisan basis. So the sooner the charade came to an end, the better. So that we deal with the reality of what's happening. I don't have any difficulty. I think that the difficulty that there is the possibility that you have at the center a president who's different from the different political party from the person who's district chief executive or mayor. These are the problems that are about to emerge in the process, and what we need to do is to focus on how we will arrange proper relationships if that occurs. I think, and it'll all be things that will help us develop and mature our democracy. But clearly, it is already happening on a partisan basis. Let's strip the smokescreen aside, deal with the reality, and recognize that it is partisan and deal with it.
Now let's move to our next question, or next topic for discussion. Well, notwithstanding the existing institutional and legislative measures to fight corruption, there is still a persistent concern that corruption is rife in our political and public life. What further measures would you institute to deal with this problem? And this time, Professor Mills.
Well, I believe that the first step toward the solution of a problem is the admission or acknowledgement that it exists. Let's all admit corruption is rife in our country. What do we do? Now, leadership has a lot to do with it. I, as leader or as president, will lead the fight against corruption. I will not allow any of my ministers, my party faithful, or cronies who are involved in corruption to go scot-free. I will let the law take its course. Number three, we have institutions which are supposed to deal with corruption. Are they well-resourced? Do they have their independence? Are they able to prosecute after they have come out with their reports, which should give them the wherewithal to be able to do this? You know, with corruption, you must be seen to be biting and not only barking. Example is very important in this respect. And I, as president, will lead the crusade against corruption, because corruption has very harmful effects and they detract from the economic achievement that we want to make. And I think that it is the responsibility of those at the top to set a good example.
Dr. Edward Mahama.
The Attorney General, wait a minute, the Attorney General will be independent. So it's been done before. What will I do? First, leadership by example. Secondly, at the legislative level, separate the position of Attorney General from that of Minister of Justice. The Attorney General will be independent. He can prosecute both sitting ministers as well as those outside or anybody in business. Thirdly, make sure that you put in conflict of interest laws. That's the legislative level. So that any minister with, for example, a hotel does not take all tourism related workshops to his hotel, or he may have a contracting firm and take all contracts from his ministry. Even district assembly level, it's occurring. It's occurring where the district assembly, the chief executive sets up a phony company and all contracts from the district go to his company. It's happening. And these are the things that I will do. Personal level, leadership by example, legislative level, separate the Attorney General from and also operational level, where you introduce this conflict of interest law with whistleblower protection laws.
And I think the three things, obviously, the leader of the government and the head of the state has to give strong personal leadership. I don't have any difficulty with the idea of having ministers in my government for whom things are found being brought before the courts to answer. When I was Attorney General, I authorized the prosecution of a colleague. So that is not an issue that will be of any difficulty for me. Secondly, that we will also be dealing in terms of strengthening the institutions that are meant to fight corruption. 5 times we have increased the monies in the NPP period that has gone to the institutions like SFO, SHRAG, and the police in order to sharpen their capability for dealing with this problem. Much more needs to be done. We know that SHRAG continues to breed lawyers that is required for the fight. We have to fix that matter. Thirdly, stiffer punishments and measures for those who are caught by the courts to be with them. The whole issue of the separation of the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, I think, is a very overworked issue. First of all, you're going to require a wholesale amendment of the Constitution because the powers of the Attorney General are entrenched provisions in the Constitution. I think that the quicker, more effective, more efficient way is to make sure that those institutions that we have on the ground already that are fighting corruption are given the necessary sharpness. We're told by the Supreme Court, for instance, that you need to make a formal complaint in order to have SHRAG investigate an issue of corruption. I would like to bring a bill to Parliament to put that aside, overrule the Supreme Court decision and allow SHRAG to be able to investigate issues of corruption directly without any formal complaint. Those are the measures that I believe will assist us.
Guys, I'm begging you. I am asking you. Do you think what this man was saying is what he's doing now? What he said. 2208. That he will make the institutions on the ground work. Make them, charge anybody or do whatever he was saying. I'm begging you. I beg you. Please tell me, is that what this man is doing now? I beg. If he is doing that now, please type yes. I want to see yes. If you think what he said in 2008, he is doing it now or he did it now as a president, please type yes there for me. If he says that and does that, please type 2. I want you to give me 2 like this. I want number 2. Number 2. Give me 2. If you think this man does what he says, give me 2. 1. You see, this is an evidence of a shrewd man. Idea of a shrewd man. A crook. See, you will let when Dom Levo talked about $1 million of Osafo Mafo, you fired him. This man. And you people are forcing this man under our throat. When Dom Levo went to say this, that he has taken $1 million away from Ghanaians and then he needs to refund it, what happened? He fired Dom Levo. He fired Dom Levo. And today, what is this man saying? He knows too well he's too smart. Video will not lie. Now look at you caught in the trap as a liar. Anyway, guys, this is what it is. It's got to be what it is. It's got to be what it is. We can't change that. This is his caliber of person. He says that and does that. He's not going to change. And everything that's happening in Ghana now, he's doing it on purpose. He's doing it on purpose. He's stepping on the rules, he's stepping on the regulations, he's stepping on the judiciary, he's stepping on the military, he's stepping on the police, he's stepping on even parliament. So I don't think this man has anything good to offer Ghanaians. He does not have anything good whatsoever to offer Ghanaians. And I'm very sad. I'm very sad. I'm very, very, very sad for the behavior that this man is putting up. And look at what he's saying. Look at what he's saying. So this is the point of where everything has become. That man can't be honest. He can never be honest in this life. Guys, he can never be honest. So you guys, you see for yourself. That's the personality of that he is. That's his personality. People, he says this and does that. He says this and does that. He will never be able to speak truth.
The presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, says his party will provide substantial evidence to the Electoral Commissioner and the law courts to enable them to investigate several instances of fraud and malpractices which occurred during the December 28 presidential runoff. Nana Akufo-Addo said the party feels Ghana's democracy will be strengthened through this action, which will ensure that the path Ghanaians have chosen remains.
Flanked by his vice presidential candidate, Dr. Mahama Bahumia, and his campaign director, Dr. Kofi Konedu Apreku, and other top party members, Nana Akufo-Addo said the NPP party initially protested against the conduct of the presidential runoff in several constituencies.
In about 10 constituencies, in the majority of polling stations in those 10 constituencies, there was nobody there standing for me whatsoever. They had been physically prevented from being able to go there to do their work. I'm entitled to have agents at every polling station in the country. Significant numbers of people that I sent into the Volta region, in the Volta region as well, to act as my polling stations, were disabled from being able to do their work. And as a result, no monitoring of the processes in these 10 out constituencies took place with any representative of mine. My understanding that is against the electoral laws of our country. That is the kind of evidence that I'll be presenting to the Electoral Commission, backed by police statements, backed by medical evidence of the brutalities. All of those are going to be laid out before. And also statements by concerned standards by observers, etc. There's a whole box of things that we're going to present in which all of these elements are there.
Nana Akufo-Addo said the party is concerned about voting in the Volta region, just as questions have been raised about voting in Ashanti region. He said the crux of his party's complaint is the investigation of irregularities that occurred during the runoff elections, especially the forcible prevention of its agents from exercising their rights.
It is in our interest as Ghanaians, as individual citizens, that elections are held in a proper manner and that therefore authentic results occur which reflect the true will of our people. That is what we should all be striving for. So I don't have any difficulty with him looking into what happened in Ashanti or wherever else in the country that he may choose to look into and satisfy himself that the thing was regularly and lawfully done. If he does satisfy himself to that point in time, and he makes that certification, we will take it from there.
Guys, it is very sad. It is very sad. Like, you would think that this man is a good person and he lied to a lot of people. You don't even have the idea.
December 2012 presidential election has been confirmed as having been won by the candidate of the National Democratic Congress, President Mahama. As I said earlier, whilst I disagree with the court's decision, I accept it. I accept that what the court says brings finality to the election dispute. We shall not be asking for a review of the verdict so we can all move on in the interests of our nation. Everything in my bones, in my upbringing, and in what I have done with my life thus far makes it imperative that I accept a decision made by the highest court of the land, however much I dislike or disagree with it. I am saddened by the verdict, and I know that many of our supporters are saddened too. However, for the sake and love of our country, we must embark on a path that builds rather than destroys to deal with our disappointment. I appeal to all members and supporters of our party, the NPP, to accept the verdict of the court. Even in our disappointment, we can take pride in the way we have conducted ourselves. Even in our disappointment, we can take pride that the NPP has again led the way in deepening Ghana's democracy. To quote one of the Supreme Court judges, quote, "After this case, elections in Ghana will not be the same," unquote. In other words, we might not have been given the ruling we sought, but thanks to our efforts, we can hopefully look forward to an improved electoral process in our country. I'm grateful to my co-petitioners, the National Chairman, Joe Kobeche Binamte, and my running mate, Dr. Mahama Bawumia, for their hard work, dedication, and commitment as we pursued the legal options available to us. My gratitude also goes to the lawyers and the technical team for their unbelievable hard work and sacrifices. I'm grateful. Having taken the decision to go to court has been unwavering in its decision I come to in the not too distant future. In Ghana's 56-year history, this is the first time a presidential election petition of this kind has been filed and pursued through the courts. The whole world has watched us in wonder and admiration. Our reaction to this judgment will be watched keenly in Africa and beyond, and will set a precedent for generations to follow. It is now up to all of us Ghanaians to put the dispute behind us and come together to iron out our differences, ease the tensions amongst us, and come together to build our country. There are myriads of problems facing us as a people. This is the time for all of us to come together and work to find solutions to the challenges that confront our people. To my party, the NPP, I say we have a lot to be proud of. There are more than 3 years left in this political cycle to be a worthy opposition and also position ourselves for the battle of 2016. Today, let us wish our president well, and thank the Almighty for his mercies to our nation. The battle continues to be that of the Lord. God bless Ghana.
My fellow Ghanaians, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We promised you that we would announce the results of the 2016 presidential elections within 48 to 72 hours after the close of polls. I am delighted to announce to you that the wait is now over, and we're ready to tell you who your next president is. Before we do that, we'd like to extend the appreciation of the Commission to all our fellow citizens for the patience they have shown as we went through the results to ensure that the final results we declare are accurate. On behalf of the Commission, I would also like to express our profound gratitude to the United Nations Development Programme and the UN Office in Ghana, the European Union, the United States Agency for International Development, the Department for International Development, the Commonwealth Secretariat, Ford Foundation, for their partnership and the tremendous support they have given the Commission over the years, and particularly towards this year's elections. We know that if we don't do all our thank yous now, and we announce the results, you won't listen, so. Again, we wish to thank the Peace Council, the judiciary, the numerous domestic and international observers, the Ghana Education Service, the Women's Situation Room, our chiefs, various civil society organizations, and our faith-based organizations. For particular mention is our security agencies, who have worked very closely with us to make sure that the elections were successful and free of violence. Of course, we have to thank the political parties and their leadership for the cooperation they've shown us, and all the voters and all Ghanaians for your prayers, your counsel, and your patience. And our friends from the media who have virtually moved into the EC for the past 48 hours and supported us to ensure that the public was informed on a very timely basis and everyone knew what was going on. We thank you. And finally, we need to thank our staff, temporary and permanent staff. The entire Commission is extremely proud of the kind of dedication and passion we have seen from our staff across the country. They've worked very long hours, made a lot of sacrifices, and we appreciate them for the stellar job they have done for God and for country. Now to the results. We conducted the elections this year with a register of 15,712,499 voters, 712,499 voters, with a total of 275 constituencies, and we had 28,992 polling stations on election day. For special voting this year, we had 286 voting centers. Currently, the results we're about to announce exclude 4 constituencies. We have Afram Plains North with a voter population of 40,312 voters, and the results are not ready because they voted only yesterday. For 3 constituencies, Upper West Achim with voters, 50,386 voters. Saula Tuna Kalba constituency with 45,625 voters, and Tamale Central with 83,947 voters. Those results are being contested, and so collation has not happened. For the 4 constituencies I mentioned, they have a total of 220,270 voters. However, we believe that the results of those 4 constituencies are immaterial to the final outcome of the presidential results. And so we will announce the results without those 4 constituencies. For the presidential elections, the total votes cast was 10,781,609. Out of those, we had rejected ballots of 166,248, which is 1.54%. We had total valid votes of 10,615,361. Our turnout was 68.62%. Now, for the candidates, Mr. Ivor Kobina Greenstreet of the CPP had 25,395 votes, being 0.24%. Mrs. Nana Konedu Ajiman Rawlings of the NDP had 16,878 votes, being 0.16%. Mr. John Dramani Mahama of the NDC had 4,713,277 votes, being 44.40%. Dr. Papa Kwesi of the PPP had 105,682 votes, being 1%. Mr. Nana Akufo-Addo of the New Patriotic Party had 5,716,026 votes, being 53.85%. Mr. Edward Mahama of the PNC had 22,214 votes, being 0.21%. And Mr. Jacob Osei-Yagwa, an independent candidate, had 15,889 votes, being 0.15%. On the basis of the foregoing figures, and by the power vested in me as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission and the returning officer for the presidential election, it is my duty and my privilege to declare Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the President-elect of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation greater and stronger.
Guys, did you guys see the microphones over there? The microphones and the people on the side and side and the people at the place? Huh? Guys. Let's see Jim Mensah's own and then we can finish up, guys. We're going to see Jim Mensah's own. And then afterwards, we can say what we want to say. Yeah.
Fellow Ghanaians, distinguished ladies and
Electoral Commission, we understand, is ready to make an announcement. We don't know whether this is a declaration, but as you can see on the screens, right, Jim Mensah just took her seat, and she's flanked by Bossman and I guess Mr. Tete. Exactly. And the room also has some armed officers also there. Let's go in there. Let's see if we can get some sights, some sounds. No sound yet. Okay, we'll get that for you shortly. If you're just joining us here on the election headquarters, something major is about to happen. We don't know yet, but we see from the EC headquarters, Madam Jim Mensah having taken her seat now, and they've told us that yes, overnight, Winston, I was with you here when Jim Mensah popped up and did a press conference and said we should expect the declaration today by close of day. We are what? If you look my watch here, we are 5:44. 5:40. Let's listen in. Do we have Jim Mensah speaking? I think.
And the entire leadership of the Electoral Commission, let me warmly welcome you to this all-important edition of Let the Citizen Know. In this case, the declaration of the presidential election results by the returning officer, who happens to be our chairperson, Mrs. Jean Mensah. Before we set the ball rolling, shall we respectfully ask Mr. Michael Buidu, Director of Training, to say the opening prayer. Mr. Michael Buidu.
Shall we please be on our feet for a word of prayer? Our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you. This is the day the Lord has made, and we will be glad and rejoice in it. Father, we thank you for bringing us thus far. We thank you for your grace, your mercy, and your faithfulness. We thank you for seeing us through and bringing us to the end of a successful electoral cycle. Amen. Father, we thank you for the peace that we keep enjoying. Amen. Father, we thank you for the people of Ghana. Amen. We thank you for the Electoral Commission. We thank you for this victory. Ghana is the winner. Ghana is victorious. We are grateful to you for this. Father, we commit this program to your care. We pray for a successful gathering, successful program. May we finish, and then the peace of God will spread through the whole Ghana. The hearts will be sober. That the heart of men shall be sober. That the joy of the Lord shall fill our hearts. In the name of Jesus, we thank you for answered prayer. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael Breedy, for that powerful prayer. God richly bless you. Now, let me kindly introduce to you our commissioners here present, as well as the director. Mrs. Haja Sada Tumaida, Mr. Ebenezer Agrifin, our directors, Dr. Sribo Kweku, Director Electoral Services, we also have to acknowledge the President of the EU Ambassador. To all of you, it's a pleasure to have you here. We do recognize that we've invited you at short notice, and therefore would like to thank all of you for joining us this afternoon as we present the outcome of the election. And forgive me that I don't have, the details of everybody here, but I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Her Excellency Mrs. Johnson Sirleaf, former President of Liberia, who is leading the ECOWAS delegation. Also acknowledge the presence of Her Excellency Diana Konya, who is the head of the European Union delegation to Ghana, and Her Excellency Stephanie Sullivan, who is the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana. We'd like to thank all of you, both our local and international observers, for taking time to join us this afternoon. To God be the glory. Great things He has done, and greater things He will do. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I welcome you to a significant moment in our country's history, the declaration of the results of the 2020 presidential election. As a commission, we had aimed at delivering the results 24 hours after the election. But as the saying goes, man proposes, but God disposes. We encountered a few challenges, including unexpected rains, which halted voting in some polling stations, leading to a few delays, coupled with the usual requests for recounting of votes in some polling stations. We regret the anxiety caused and ask that you bear with us. We hope that in subsequent elections, we thank the Almighty God for His faithfulness and for how far He has all the core and critical aspects of our work, and the very system on which credible, transparent elections are hinged in Ghana. We persevered throughout the long the results we witnessed today. Our mantra was that while the country may be on lockdown, as a commission, we had to govern the entire biometric voter registration and verification system, and a brand new data center, to mention a few, all of which went through an international competitive tendering process. Today, we can all be proud of a brand new biometric voter register. We hardly experienced to sole sourcing and restricted tendering. The number of registered male and female voters, the number of youth, the number of first-time voters, and the number of persons with disabilities who are on the electoral roll. In addition, today we can all be proud that as Ghanaians we went to the polls and cast our vote. Protocols, employed electoral officers, organizations that have believed in us and shared recommendations from well thought out research and analysis. We acknowledge and commend you highly, and we say thank you. We also thank our election observers, both local and international, for their interest in ensuring that the whole electoral process was transparent, fair and credible, and timely and peaceful presidential election. The total number of valid votes cast was 13,434,574, representing 79% of the total registered voters. Permit me to present the results in the order of appearance on the 2020 presidential ballot. At the end of the polls, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of the New Patriotic Party obtained 6,730,413 votes, being 51.595% of the total valid votes cast. John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress obtained 6,214,889 votes, being 47.366% of the total valid votes cast. Christian Kwabena Andrews of the Ghana Union Movement obtained 105,565 votes, being 0.805% of the total valid votes cast. Iva Kwabena Greensheet of the Convention's People's Party obtained 12,215 votes, being 0.093% of the total valid votes cast. Madam Ekuya Donko of the Ghana Freedom Party obtained 5,575 votes, being 0.042% of the total valid votes cast. Henry Herbert Latte of the Great Consolidated Popular Party obtained 3,574, being 0.027% of the total valid votes cast.
Why are they in white?
Hassan Ayariga of the All People's Party obtained 7,140, being 0.054% of the total valid votes cast. Percival Kofi Apalu of the Liberal Party of Ghana obtained 7,690 votes, being 0.059% of the total valid votes cast. David Asibi Apesara of the People's National Convention obtained 10,887, being 0.083% of the total valid votes cast. Bridget Akosua Jibonuku of the Progressive People's is 515,524 votes. As a result, if we were to add the 128,018 full results to the results of the second candidate, it would not change the outcome of the election. Hence, our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Techiman South. Indeed, if you were to add the entire results or collate all the results from the Techiman South constituency and add that to the percentage and the votes of the second candidate, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, he would obtain 47.873% of the total votes cast. And Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo would obtain 50.8% of the total votes cast. It is on that basis that we say that the outcome of the election would not change. Hence our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Techiman South. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on the basis of the foregoing election results, and by the power vested in me as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana and the returning officer of the presidential election, it is my duty and honor to declare Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as president-elect
of the Republic of Ghana. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Let peace reign. Thank you.
Right, so the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madam Jemesa, just
Guys, it is what it is. It is what it is. Why would you be wearing white? Why would you be wearing white if you don't know the results that is coming up to you? We all see the outcome and we all see what is going to happen. Guys, it has been a very long night. I've taken most of your time. I thank you very much. Guys, I'm also asking you to keep subscribing. All of you that came to the first time, please subscribe. If it's the first time, please subscribe to the YouTube and the Facebook as well. It is the same name, Saforo TV Africa. Please subscribe, and I know that I will be happy. I know you're going to be happy. I want us to grow the channels, and we can speak truth to power. Thank you very much. I love all of you guys. It has been a very long night. I've taken a lot of your time. Thank you for sparing me. Thank you for letting me enter your homes. And letting you spend that time with me. It's been a long sitting, but I can thank you. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. Now I say Moro Senya Meda Wasi Esanse. I do respect you for spending that time with me. And it is what it is. So thank you very much. And please, Saturday night, we have a reggae night. We are going to play reggae. Anybody can come in and, request their own song, and I'm going to play it for them. Any song you want. It's a ladies' night. You can request a song for your loved one, your husband, your wife, or whatever, and then we're going to play it and we're going to have fun, which is Saturday night. So, guys, please do me a favor. Please don't stay away. Come, let's have our reggae night, Saturday night, a very good one. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Please still subscribe. If you don't subscribe, a millipede will crawl into your face and your bed tonight. Or if you don't want to see me in your dreams, subscribe and press that button. So anytime I come on, you can be able to see me and get the notice. Thank you very much. I respect all of you and I love all of you. All those guys that came to insult me, thank you. Today is not a day for me to insult you back. But maybe tomorrow will be a time for me to get you. Today I've spared you. So, thank you anyway. So, guys, talk to you tomorrow and all the best. God bless you. I love you guys.